Hey everybody, welcome to Real Estate Brew with Kevin and Dr. Lesli.
Hey guys.
What's going on? And today we are talking about another topic to drop for your next real estate sip. Okay, so Lesli, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about how to maximize cash flow with commercial real estate properties.
Word?
Yeah, that was a tongue pull.
It is a tongue
pull. But I don't know how to make it shorter, so we're just going to have to go with that title. Okay, so we're going to start off with tip number 1, which is to separate utilities if you can. If you can have your tenants pay for your utilities, obviously you're saving money. People always use more when they're not directly paying for it. I'm guilty of that myself. So if you can have them separated, do it. But I will say sometimes it's really expensive to do that. So think about the overall cost benefit of that before you just decide to separate everything and then you are not cash flowing at all because you have to include those costs in your new mortgage.
Absolutely. Tip number 2, partnering with cable and internet providers. That's when you have a larger multi-unit. That makes a lot of sense. We actually got that from shout out to Otis James.
Yeah,
we had one of our first introductory real estate conversations with him over the phone, and that's one of the things he told us when it comes down to future view when it comes to real estate.
Yeah. Next tip. Coin laundry and vending machines. If you can get some coin laundry units in your building, it's definitely a way to make some extra coins, literally and figuratively. Same with vending machines. And those actually aren't that expensive to purchase. If you want to know about vending machines, reach out to Titus Morris of Morris Real Estate Solutions. He has a whole book on that.
He actually does. I read it. It's a good book. Next one, renting out garage space. Okay, so reason why you want to rent out garage space, if you buy a larger multi-unit, usually there may be some detached garages. One of our multi-units that we own has two car garage spaces that we currently are renting out to other people. So you can rent it out for something as low as $100. So shameless idea.
Yeah.
Not shameless. It's a good idea.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I like that. No shame. The next tip is related to parking, but you can also charge for off-street parking, especially if you have a larger multi-unit property and it's in the city. If this is in a really rural area and there's lots of parking available, it probably won't work for you.
Right.
But if you can charge for some off-street parking, it doesn't have to be super expensive. Just another way to maximize that cash flow. In
fact, if you are questioning if your tenants will pay for that parking space, I'm here to tell you that they will. Because both me and Leslie, when we lived in a bigger multi-unit apartment building, we paid for parking.
We complained about it. We definitely complained about it, but we still paid.
We still paid every month. All right, number two. I'm sorry. The next tip is going to be willing to work with Section 8 in affordable housing programs. Why? Because God forbid we ever get into another pandemic situation, Section 8 and those affordable housing programs will still pay you on time. A lot of our real estate friends of ours were really struggling during that time because they weren't getting their checks. Well, people who are getting Section 8 and stuff like that were still getting their checks each month for rent, for real estate. But I say this because you also want to help the community, right? At least in our area in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, we're having a huge shortage with Section 8 and affordable housing. So be willing to make an impact, right? People always hear horror stories about Section 8 and affordable housing. That's not always the case. You always got to vet your tenants. You got to look at a background, even if there's Section 8. You want to make sure the tenant is right for your house and your property.
And I can confirm that all of our terrible tenants, none of them are on Section 8. So that All right. Our last tip before we wrap it up is to avoid taking out all your equity. So if you use the BRRRR method, buy, renovate, rehab, rent out, refinance.
I think you mixed it up a little bit.
I think I did too, but you all get the point. Go look up BRRRR. Look at our previous video. If you use the BRRRR method and you're refinancing and you have a little extra equity, you don't have to take out all of it because the more equity you take, the higher your mortgage, the less cash flow you're going to make. So just think about that when it comes to refinance.
Absolutely. So think about your next refinancing. But again,
and we can help you with refinancing, by the way.
We sure can with our company, 3 Acres Funding. So if you need some refinancing, let us know. We're also here to help. But again, here we are. We're Real Estate Brew. I'm Kevin.
Dr. Lesli.
And we're here to give you your next step
of real estate.
And while you're sipping your coffee or brew, whatever you're drinking, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel.
Yes. Very important.